As Sister Richard's special friend, I'm Sister Gabriel. I'd like to tell her vocation story as she has given it to me. Sister Richard was born on November 25th, 1915, one of 13 children. She was the second oldest child. I went to Catholic grade school, she says, in Conway. I never worked out anywhere but helped my mother at home, who gave me a lot of responsibility taking care of the babies. I lived through many births in the family since I was the oldest girl. I was 18 years old when I first thought about the convent and talked to a cousin who was thinking of entering the Notre Dame Sisters. A Sister Crescence, a Benedictine sister from Fort Smith and a friend of my mother's, came to see my mother, and while visiting with her, she said to my mother, "I thought by now you would have a daughter going to the convent." I overheard her say this, but I didn't want to hear that at that time. Shortly after this, though, less than a year, I think, so many were talking about going to the convent. So I came here to Fort Smith with 4 others from our parish, and 5 went to the Notre Dame Sisters. I was inspired by Sister Crescence, my mother's classmate and friend, and that's why I came to the Benedictines here in Fort Smith instead of going to the Notre Dames. I liked it here and never thought of going home. I was invested on June 24th, 1935, made first profession June 24th, 1937, and final profession June 24th, 1940. After final profession, I spent 4 years on mission in Marche, Arkansas, and then 8 years cooking and working for the bishop in Little Rock. After that, I came to the monastery and was in charge of the big kitchen and cooked for the sisters and boarders until the academy opened in 1958, and then worked continually as head of the kitchen until I retired in 1994. While I was in the kitchen, I had a different group of novices to work with, and I loved them. Many of the sisters who worked under Sister Richard in the kitchen tell beautiful stories about their time in the kitchen, and she never snitched on them to the novice mistress if they didn't do things right. Since retiring, I lived a few years on 4th floor and then moved to the infirmary. For a good while, I could still take care of myself, and I tried to continue being active, going to exercises when available, folding many towels from the laundry, as some of my pictures will show. I loved to do the jumbo puzzles, too. Until recently, I did a lot of embroidery. Every once in a while, one of the pillow slips that I embroidered comes around. A couple pieces I did were framed and are on the wall across from my bedroom in the infirmary. And now a few words from me, Sister Gabriel. In the year 2011, Sister Richard tires very easily, but she often says, "Is there something I can do for you? Let me know." Since she doesn't have the strength to do a lot of physical work, now she has time to pray more. And I remind her to pray for vocations, since she asks so often, every day, many times, "How many new members do we have?" And I hate to say, only 1. So she prays many a rosary for vocations.